Right now you feel it. That low, constant hum of not enough. Not enough time, not enough peace, not enough control. You wake up already sprinting, chasing a deadline you didn't set, answering a notification that steals your attention like a thief in the night. Your inner world is a screen split into 50 distracting tabs, and you're trying desperately to close them all at once. You look around at a world that is louder, faster, and more demanding than ever before. And you think, I must be the problem. I must be too weak. I must be broken. I'm going to tell you the truth. You are not broken. You are not weak. The problem is not your capacity. The problem is the architecture of your attention. The world is not just loud, it is aggressively optimized to keep you distracted, reactive, and perpetually on the hook. And all of your frantic effort, the searching, the scrolling, the comparing, it all points to one thing: a desperate hunger for an internal life you can actually trust. In the next 20 minutes, I'm not going to offer you a quick fix. I'm going to give you a 3-hour blueprint, a powerful, practical framework built on the most resilient philosophy ever created, Stoicism, that will allow you to build an inner fortress in a chaotic world. We will not talk about theory. We will talk about action. We will cut through the noise with 8 surgical principles that you can apply today to transform your pain into power, your anxiety into focus, and your feeling of being overwhelmed into the deep, quiet knowledge that you are in charge of your own life. This is the antidote to modern fatigue. It's practical philosophy for the deeply distracted. If you are tired of living in reaction mode, if you are ready to reclaim your most valuable asset, your attention, and if this opening is landing for you right now, I want you to anchor yourself to this journey. I want you to type a simple declaration into the comments. Right now, comment this. Finite my focus. Number 1. The first 60 minutes, the physics of momentum. We do not struggle to accomplish the grand mission. We struggle to win the first small battle. The psychological principle here is simple: inertia is a mental parasite. We believe we need motivation to start, but the opposite is true. Action creates motivation. Stoics understood that the morning is the most volatile and decisive moment of the day. It sets the emotional and practical current for the next 12 hours. Your first 60 minutes are like the engine start of a powerful ship. If you spend the first hour adrift, reacting to every small wave as email, news, social media, you've lost the power to set your own course. If you fire the engine and set the rudder, you control the destination. The zero noise hour. For the first 60 minutes of your day, you will not touch your phone. Your mind is sacred ground. Instead, you will do 2 things: morning meditation 5-10 minutes and premeditatio malorum, 5 minutes of contemplating potential hardships. This moves you from reaction to preparedness. I win the first hour, I win the day. Number 2. The dichotomy of control, the boundary line of peace. This is the bedrock of Stoicism, the fundamental practice that separates the anxious from the truly free. Epictetus taught that we should concern ourselves only with what is up to us, our judgments, our impulses, our desires, our actions. Everything else, the weather, other people's opinions, the outcome of an event, the past, is outside of our control. The moment you cross that line, you invite suffering. Modern psychology validates this. Anxiety is the overestimation of external threat and the underestimation of internal resources. The dichotomy of control is a high-powered filter. When a thought comes in, you don't argue with it. You simply run it through the filter. Is this up to me? If the answer is no, you immediately label it not my concern. If the answer is yes, you label it action required. The 3-column exercise. When you feel anxiety rising, write down your concerns in 3 columns. 1. Controllable, my effort. 2. Semi-controllable, my influence. 3. Uncontrollable, let go. The goal is to move your focus entirely to column 1. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Epictetus. Number 3. The shadow of virtue. the compass for complex decisions. We spend too much time chasing outcomes and not enough time cultivating character. Stoicism defines 4 cardinal virtues: justice, temperance, courage, and wisdom. When faced with a challenging choice, your anxiety is often the conflict between what is easy and what is right. By focusing on virtue, you stop asking, "What will make me happy?" and start asking, "What is the right thing to do right now?" This immediately simplifies complexity. Virtue is your internal GPS. In the maze of modern life, career moves, relationship conflicts, financial choices, the GPS doesn't guide you to the easiest route. It guides you to the best route. It guides you to the person you genuinely want to be. The virtue audit. Before a difficult meeting or decision, ask yourself, what would courage look like right now? A being direct, not avoiding conflict. What would justice look like right now? Fairness, honesty, no manipulation. Act from that determined place. Number 4, the anatomy of impulse, the gap between stimulus and response. Our modern lives are a series of urgent, instant demands. We are neurologically trained to respond without thinking. This is the impulse loop. Stoics taught the practice of assent, not automatically agreeing with every thought or feeling that pops into your head. Between the stimulus, the rude email, the notification chiming, and the response, the angry reply, the 5-minute scroll, there is a crucial, tiny gap. Your freedom lives in that gap. The gap is a mental speed bump. The stimulus hits you like a truck. If there is no speed bump, you are immediately reactive. The speed bump forces you to slow down, take the impact, and consciously decide which direction to turn. The pause and name rule. When you feel a negative emotions, anger, defensiveness, craving rising, you must physically stop. Don't type, don't move, and simply name the emotion. This is anger. This is fear of missing out. Naming it separates you from the feeling, interrupting the impulse loop. Number 5, reframing the obstacle, the alchemist's secret. Life's inevitable challenges, a job loss, a personal betrayal, a crushing failure, are not stops on your path, they are the path itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is cognitive reframing at its most potent. You don't try to ignore the pain, you force yourself to see the opportunity for growth embedded within it. The obstacle is the grindstone. You are not tempered by comfort, you are sharpened by resistance. A sword is not made of soft metal, it is made in the fire and hammered into strength. Your hardship is the only process that can build your resilience. This is for Med Journal prompt. When a significant setback occurs, write down the problem and then answer 2 questions. 1. What skill is this requiring me to build? Patience, negotiation, humility. 2. What advantage will I have after surviving this? That which came upon him was for the sake of the world, and for the sake of the world was it produced. Marcus Aurelius. Number 6. The practice of temporal poverty, seeing the present as a gift. We are terrible at valuing our time because we treat it as an infinite resource. We check our phones for a second and lose 20 minutes. Seneca argued we are not given a short life, but we make it short by wasting it. This is the practice of memento mori, remembering you will die, not to be morbid, but to be urgent. Every minute of this video is a finite resource. Treat your time as a millionaire treats their final dollar. Time is a non-renewable resource. You can earn back lost money, lost friends, and lost opportunities. You can never get back a single wasted minute. You cannot bank time. You only have what you have right now. The 30-minute block audit. For the next 3 hours, schedule your time in 30-minute blocks. Give the blocker labels: focused work, learning, intentional rest. If you find yourself in an unplanned activities scrolling, you must loudly or mentally declare, "I am stealing time from myself." Number 7, intentional underextension, the power of the reserve tank. The modern world rewards overextension and celebrates the grind. We run our internal resources at 100% until we hit a wall. High-performance psychological studies show that peak performance is achieved not by maximum effort, but by maximum recovery. Stoicism taught that moderation, temperance, is essential for endurance. You must always maintain a reserved tank of energy, emotion, and attention. Intentional underextension is the 90% rule. Never drive your car or your body at 100% capacity for extended periods. When you work at 90%, you are highly efficient, productive, and you never burn out. When a genuine crisis hits, you have that 10% reserve to call upon. The exit early habit. End your workday 15 minutes before you have to. End your argument before you say the last word. End your meal before you are completely full. This trains your discipline and proves to your subconscious that you are in control of your consumption and effort, not the task itself. Number 8. The power of intentional solitude, reclaiming your inner anchor. We are addicted to external validation and connection, but Seneca warned that associating with the wrong people can make us vulnerable to bad habits and negative thinking. You cannot develop a strong, clear philosophy without creating space for reflection. Modern neuroscience confirms that a quiet mind is necessary for consolidation of learning and complex problem solving. You must choose to be alone, or the chaos of the world will choose for you. Your mind is a reservoir. You constantly allow information, opinions, and noise to flow in. If the reservoir has no downtime, no chance for the silt to settle, your waters, your thoughts, will always be murky. Solitude is the time you close the gates and allow everything to become clear. The digital sunset, 30 minutes. Dedicate 30 minutes without fail to being absolutely alone with no input, no music, no podcast, no TV. Simply sit, walk, or write. Use this time not to think about your problems, but to observe your thoughts like clouds passing in the sky. If you've made it this far, you've grasped 8 foundational principles. This is the software for your transformation. Now we install it. Look at where you are right now. You have just absorbed years of wisdom in minutes. But information without execution is merely entertainment. This is where the script flips. This is the crucial moment of momentum. We have moved from pain, from being overwhelmed, to awareness. Now we move to power and action. Stop thinking of these 8 pillars as things you have to do. Start seeing them as the cost of admission to your own freedom. You pay this price, the friction of starting, the discomfort of the pause, and in return, you get to choose your internal state. You get to choose your reaction. You get to choose your life. This is not about becoming cold or unemotional. It's about becoming unshakable. It's about channeling your emotions toward what you can control, your character, instead of squandering them on what you can't. You don't transform your life by consuming more content. You transform it by creating a different reality for yourself, one small action at a time. The greatest misconception about transformation is that it requires a massive, dramatic act. It doesn't. It requires unflinching consistency. The person who goes to the gym once for 6 hours is not transformed. The person who goes for 30 minutes, 5 days a week, is completely rebuilt. Stoicism is the ultimate daily practice. You cannot be occasionally temperate, occasionally courageous, or occasionally just. You must practice it every single day. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is repetition. Let me give you your 3-hour task. Your 3-hour challenge for today, built on what we just covered. 1. Phase 1, 60 minutes. Complete your 0 noise hour and your 3-column exercise on a pressing concern. 2. Phase 2, 120 minutes. Apply the pause and name rule every time you feel an impulse and dedicate 30 minutes to focused work using your 90% rule. 3. Phase 3, 180 minutes. Complete your digital sunset and reflect on what virtue your day required. It's not a full transformation in 3 hours. It is the unbreakable start of one. It is the proof to yourself that you are the captain of your soul. Right now, there is a choice. You can click away from this video and immediately revert to the frantic default, the external chasing, the reactive scrolling. Or you can take the blueprint you now possess and start the deliberate construction of your inner life. This journey is not easy, but the alternative, the constant exhaustion of chasing external validation, is far harder. You have the philosophy. You have the tools. All that is left is your ascent, your decision. If this message helped you, if it gave you a single moment of clarity, if you feel that internal shift from anxiety to capability, please like this video to send this message to others who are searching for peace. Share this with one person you know who is feeling the weight of the world. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so we can continue to build this unshakable life together. But before you go, for your final anchor, for your promise to your future self, I want you to comment one final declaration, a commitment to the practice. Comment this: "Pay will be unshakable, go build your fortress. You are ready."